welcome to your reading lesson for the week Year 4. So first of all, the text is called The Giant's Garden. So have a look at the pictures and I want you to make a prediction. I want you to think about what the text is going to be about and what you think will happen. So just either have a little think or pause the video and write down your prediction. What do you think the Giant's Garden is going to be about? Okay, so I'm going to read the text to you. You can read along if you would like to. Every afternoon, as they were coming home from school, the children used to go and play in the giant's garden. It was a large, lovely garden with soft green grass. Here and there over the grass stood beautiful flowers like stars. And there were 12 peach trees that in the springtime broke out into delicate blossoms of pink and pearl, and in the autumn bore rich fruit. The birds sat on the trees and sang so sweetly that the children used to stop their games in order to listen to them. "How happy we are here!" they cried to each other. One day the giant came back. He had been to visit his friend, the Cornish ogre, and had stayed with him for 7 years. After the 7 years were over, he had said all that he had to say, for his conversation was limited, and he was determined to return to his own castle. When he arrived, he saw the children playing in the garden. "What are you doing there?" he cried in a very gruff voice, and the children ran away. "My own garden is my own garden," said the giant. "Anyone can understand that, and I will allow nobody to play in it but myself." So he built a high wall all round it and put up a notice board. "Trespassers will be prosecuted." He was a very selfish giant. The poor children had nowhere to play. They tried to play on the road, but the road was very dusty and full of hard stones, and they did not like it. They used to wander round the high wall when their lessons were over, and talk about the beautiful garden inside. "How happy we were there," they said to each other. Then the spring came, and all over the country there were little blossoms and little birds. Only in the garden of the selfish giant it was still winter. The birds did not care to sing in it, as there were no children, and the trees forgot to blossom. Once a beautiful flower put its head out from the grass, but when it saw the notice board, it was so sorry for the children that it slipped back into the ground again and went off to sleep. The only people who were pleased were the snow and the frost. "Spring has forgotten this garden," they cried, "so we will live here all year round." The snow covered up the grass with her great white cloak, and the frost painted all the trees silver. Then they invited the north wind to stay with them, and he came. He was wrapped in furs, and he roared all day about the garden and blew the chimney pots down. "This is a delightful spot," he said. "We must ask the hail to visit." So the hail came. Every day for 3 hours he rattled on the roof of the castle till he broke most of the slates, and then he ran round and round the garden as fast as he could go. He was dressed in grey and his breath was like ice. Okay, so you are going to write some I wonders. So I will do one first of all. So I'm going to say, I wonder why the giant wanted to keep the garden all to himself. Oops. Okay, I want you to pause the video now and I want you to complete 3 I wonders. Okay, so now we are going to summarise it. So what I want you to do, you have got this in your booklet. We are going to think about the main 6 points that happened. Now you can either write it, you can draw it, or you can do both. It's up to you. So first of all, I'm just going to say that the children played happily in the giant's garden. Let me just squeeze that in, and I could draw a picture if I want to, but you all know that I'm not very good at drawing. So there's 6 key points. What's the first thing that happened, and then next, and finally to the last one. So pause the video and complete that now. Okay, so you have now got 8 questions to answer. You're going to do this on your own. We'll just look at the first one together, and then you are going to complete the rest on your own. So the first one says, how did the giant make sure that the children could not get in the garden to play in it? Now I think I know the answer, but I'm just going to go back to the text to double check. So I'm going to scan and have a look. So here I can see the giants come back. And here we go. And it's a good job I checked, because I thought the answer was that he'd put a sign up to say trespassers will be prosecuted, but that is not the correct answer alone. He built a high wall and put up a notice board, so you need both of those points. So I will go back to the question and I would write, he built a high wall to keep the children out and put up a sign saying trespassers will be prosecuted. So you need to go back to the text to double check your answers. Okay, you can complete the questions now.